Well, good morning, YouTube. Lofty's here. I've got out with the bird. She's got the camera. The bird's got the camera. How about that? Never trust a bird with a camera. Laugh out loud. Anyway, Royal Enfield Hanley Black. We're off up to Damrells. We're going to take out the Manor Black, the rally. If you're interested in Lofty riding the Manor Black, you stick around. Well, good morning, YouTube. Lofty's here. I've got the bird on the back. There she is. We're out on the Hanley Black, Enfield. Now then, we're off up to Damrells. As you know, up until recently, the Hanley Black was the top of the range in the Himalayan series, especially the Hanley Black with the tubeless rims. Anyway, there's a new kid on the block, the Manor Black, the rally. Now, I've been waiting to ride this for quite a while. The weather has been atrocious. We've actually got a reasonably dry day, so we're off up to Damrells, like I say, and I'm going to do a bit of a comparison between the Hanley Black and the Manor Black. So what's the main difference on paper? I'll go through this when I talk you around, but just initially, well, it's 250 quid more or something. These are about 6,200 with the tubeless, and the Manor Black is 6,400 with the tubeless. Now, it doesn't sound much different, does it? Well, it's not. It's got hand guards built in. It's got a different seat. It's got a bench seat, and it's got a tidied up back end. There's no rack. And it looks slightly different. Power's the same. It's got, like I say, it's got the tubeless rims, and it don't look a bad bike. So, is it worth spending the extra couple of £100 or so to buy the Rally, the Manor Black, or to stick with the Hanley? Personally, I love the look of the gloss finish on the Manor Black, and I'm not so keen on the matte black on the Manor. Anyway, I'll get them out, I'll put them side by side, and I'll show you my dirty Hanley Black, and hopefully a pristine, clean, brand new Manor Black. How about that? I'll see you in a minute. Well, good morning, YouTube. What do you reckon? I've got a brace. Hanley Black, Manor Black. What do you think? So here we are. What have we got? Noticeable things. Hand guards. Matte back paint. Got this camouflagey type effect. That's on the other models. Solid one-piece bench seat. Now that is enduro style. Rally, you like. Back end's been tidied up. Rack's been taken off. Lights are up tight. And this is totally different. Anyway, so let's have a look. Okay, so I'm standing. The first thing I notice, I can feel the seat. Now, I'm long-legged. I have a 34 in her trousers. I'm 6'5". I'm 16.5 stone. This is tall, very tall. The seat is very firm, very firm. You can shift about on it, move forward. Leg room, it's lovely. So even with the higher seat, the cutaway is still big enough for Lofty. There you go, feet in the cutaway. I can move around. Very different. Let's give it a close-up of the differences. Okay, there's the handguards. As you see, plastic, nothing special. I don't really think they'd be up to a lot. A bit of brush, they'd knock it off. Same tyres, same brakes, same engine, everything's the same. So here's the difference. As you can see, we've got a nice big bench seat, and the back end's tidied. There's no increase in ground clearance whatsoever. It is the same bike, but the seat's taller, and it comes with these, I'll just show you a close-up, black tubeless spokes. So when I pull away, that back end there, that back end, lot lower, Personally, I've got to say, I think I prefer the looks of the standard Himalayan. Might just be me. The gloss finish on the paintwork, the petrol tank and whatever, against the matte, and I do like the black with the gold rims. If you look inside, the little key socket's still there. I'm going to open it up and show you what's inside. Key in, very deep. Give it a turn, off it comes. So there you go. Not a lot of difference. It's just this back end's tidied up quite considerably, isn't it? Same ABS system, same battery. Where the seat locks on, more or less the same. There's not a lot of difference, is there? See how easy it goes back down. Peasy. Easy peasy. It's gone in, no trouble at all. What this is for, the grab rail on the back, I don't know. And you've got this little tie down thing. So these are tie downs. So you've got 4 very useful tie downs, and you've got some sort of grab handle. I'm not sure. So what do you prefer? Hanley Black? Manor Black? They're both filthy. They've both been ridden. Although mine looks the dirtiest. I think the best thing Lofty can do is get his helmet on and take it for a bit of thrash. Come on, let's go and have a ride. So here we are, Royal Enfield Damerals. Manor Black, let's go for the ride. We've got a bit of fuel in. Okay, so noticeably tall, yeah, very tall. The small screen, it's not exactly a lot of good when you're in the low position on the standard bike, let alone the high position, and now we're sitting really tall. It doesn't really sound a lot. As I say, it's the same 452 Sherpa engine, and straight away I just feel comfortable on it. It's done a few miles, this has. He's told me to ride it as I normally would, so okay. Get the indicator button. So round the island we go. I'm going to go round. The actual high seat has no bearing or no effect on the steering. It's exactly the same. It's going round lovely. Okay, let's go round the course. Gets up to 50. I'll keep it to 5,000 revs. I think it's only fair. So, the first thing I miss is it's not got the cruise control. No, I love my little cruise control. Great addition. Now, I'm a fairly big lad, and I feel like the bones in my bum, if you like, are sitting like wobbling on the seat. It does feel more like a motocrosser than a road bike. So I'm not sure. I think if you lived in the outback in Australia or in the Midwest in America, or you were going to ride in the mountains in Spain or whatever on the green lanes, it's ideal. Let's just stand up. Yeah, standing up feels balanced. I don't think a pillion would appreciate this seat. I think if you're buying this bike, I think you're buying it as a solo rider bike and not for you and your missus or you and your partner or whatever. So I don't know. It just feels the same with a funny seat. I quite like the looks of the rally back end. It's quite tidy, but all of a sudden you're thinking, like, if I wanted to put a top box on, I'm knackered. Well, you cannot really put a top box on. But you can put soft luggage on, and there's plenty of tie-down points. So, from a soft luggage point of view, which is what generally off-roaders do use, it's no trouble at all. I'm just going to let this Skoda drift off in the distance. It's a local WK. Because we're going to drop into a 30 here at St Denis any second now. We'll just see if the fueling's any different to my model. Okay, 30 mile an hour. Drop it into third. When these bikes come, the default is that the gear lever is fairly high. I suppose they'd expect you to wear some sort of big clumpy boots, but I've got semi-off-road boots on. I can get my foot under the lever extremely easy, but I have to lift my foot to knock it down. I would knock that round by at least 1 notch. So winter, we've had a winter, ain't we? Oh, I know up north you've had some snow, but we've had rain. Rain. So these tyres. Now I know there's quite a few of you who say, ditch the tyres, them crap. Well, to be honest, I've ridden my bike now since the end of October, so I've basically ridden it all through the winter. I've done 3,000 winter wet miles, and I've got to say, I'm very impressed with the standard Seat tyres. They've never jumped, skipped, slipped around or anything. I had one little incident on a grid, on a cattle grid. I just put the power on just as I was coming off the grid, and it just went, just slipped a little bit. But to be fair, can't fault the tyres. Okay, so I'll put that one to bed straight away. I've had to put no oil in it. As I say, 3,000 miles. It's not a lot, but it's 3,000 winter miles in the winter. Dirty, wet, horrible, gungy, slimy roads. And to be fair, I'm over the moon. I'm really pleased. How long I'd last on this seat, I don't know. I do find the standard Hemi seat very comfortable. I don't think, you know, these days it's like comfort seat. One thing I wouldn't consider is I don't think I'd need a comfort seat. Now, I don't know about this bench. This bench is rock hard. The other thing is my noisy front brake, the one that was squeaking and making a bit of a row, it's calmed down quite a lot. I've got some pads. I bought some EBC HHs and I was going to put them on. And the weather's been that bad, I thought, oh, just get on with it, leave it for a bit, and when it gets nicer weather, stick them on. But they seem to be calming down. They're not so noisy, so that's one good thing. This is a fairly brand new bike, as I say, so I don't really know. At the moment, there's no squeaking, but then again, they weren't on with mine when I first had it. I've come up here with a bird on the back, and we've hardly seen any traffic at all. I've come to St Denis and it's busy. Sod's law, innit? But look at that. There's actually a bit of a ball of something in the sky there. I don't know what it's called. I ain't seen one for a long time. And they're even tipping tomorrow, Wednesday, as being a good day. So, whoa, we better get out and have a ride tomorrow. So screens. I don't know what to think. Because we're all different shapes and sizes and heights, lengths of body, we ride at different speeds. If you're going to use this bike as a rally, an off-roader, I'd keep the screen. I wouldn't even waste my time spending any money messing about with this screen. It's perfect, especially in warmer countries where you do need a bit of airflow. You know what I mean? It's nice to get a bit of airflow. I do love this engine. I've got a few friends who have had the Yemis, and some of them have had the Gorillas, and everybody says the same. Depending on how tall you are, which bike to buy. If you've got short legs, get a Gorilla. If you've got long legs, get a Hemi. You will not be disappointed. It's one hell of a bike. The engine's so tractable. It's a fairly long stroke single, 452cc, and it goes ever so well. My old pal Smithy said, you'll be amazed when you get it above 6,000 revs, Lofty. He said it'll take off. And to be fair, it doesn't actually hit peak power to 8,000 revs. I don't think I've ever got it up to 8. But when you knock it up to 7,500 revs, you're flying. It does go. I've been out with the lads. We had a fairly spirited ride last Wednesday. Went across the border into Devon. It was fairly spirited. And there was me playing Tail End Charlie on the old Himalayan. I kept up. There was a couple of occasions where they did overtakes and I couldn't. I just had to wait until I could use the momentum or a bit of a downhill or a right-hander where I could cut the corner slightly. But in general, You can do anything on these Himalayas. Thank you. 20 mile an hour. How about that? Lofty's doing 20. Downhill. First, oh, I've never mentioned, I always have my clock in the black. I don't know why, I just think the white looks cheap. I don't like the white. So I just always have mine in permanent night. I've actually got the app working. I don't know if you've tried the app. There's been a replacement app. So get rid of the old app and download the new one, and the connectivity is better. It's not as good as a mirror screen in something like a Carpuride or Aoocci. By the way, if you want an Aoocci TLB22 for a nice discount, I wouldn't recommend either over the other one. They are basically the same. And to be honest, when you look at the adverts, I wouldn't be surprised if most of these CarPlay units are coming from the same factory. Yes, how about that? Lofty, Sherlock Holmes. Anyway, we're going to test out these brand new bikes, see what they're like. I hope they're better than the Hulk 440. That was awful. So here we go. I'm going a bit faster than we was on the Hulk. We're doing 40 odd mile an hour. Nobody about behind back brake. Yeah, a bit of a skip, bit of a dance. Effective, not bad. I find once you get them bedded in, the back brake is very, very good. We'll just clear the corner. Same again, 40 odd mile an hour. Clear from behind, front brake. Yeah, they grab nice. They don't make any audible noises. They're nice, lovely. I'll just come around the corner, we'll nip it down the bend, and we'll test out the front and rear together. How about that? I love the handling of this bike. So here we go. All clear behind, 40 mile an hour. You can't fault that, can you? You ain't going to get yourself in any trouble. So back up to 50 odd. Into the chicane. The roads are drying out nicely. It's absolutely pleasure to ride a bike on a semi-dry road. You can feel the tyres digging in and gripping a bit. That's lovely. So here we go down the hill. I must admit, the seat isn't getting any more uncomfortable. It'd be nice to have it for a day, take it out and give it a proper test, but the initial shock of that hard bench, it's easing off. It's actually getting better. So here we go. We might get an overtake here. Oh, bad luck. Car coming. Let's go. Okay, 60 mile an hour. No buffeting. Handling beautiful. Super tyres. How about that? Don't they go well? I ain't been above 5,000 revs. Oh, just ease off. I'm not going to bother doing the dual carriageway bit. I honestly think the people who are going to buy this version, the Rally, probably won't find themselves on a dual carriageway or a motorway, because you get the wind blasters get tiring. If you've got the standard Hemi, get yourself a screen to suit if you're going to do some motorway, so it's not a problem. I'm thinking of putting a bigger screen on, but I thought I'd wait to the end of the winter. Anyway, have you enjoyed this bit of a video? A comparison video? Somebody who actually owns the bike talking about the bike. It's a bit different, isn't it? If you have enjoyed it, click on that little like, subscribe, ring that bell. Ask me a question. I'm only too pleased to answer the questions. I know a lot of people who buy these smaller bikes can't do demos because they're not old enough and they can't get the insurance. But it's simple. The engine is fabulous. The bike is gorgeous. If you've got little legs, try a Gorilla. If you've got long legs, try a Himalayan. You will not be disappointed. I think it's a wonderful bike and I'm having great fun riding it. Anyway, look where we are. We're back at Damrells. Seems like we've only just gone out. Well, this is the Lofty Biker saying ta-ra for now. Ta-ra. What do you reckon then? It's a tough one, isn't it? I think I'll stay with the standard version.